Hello students, welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. Now, dear students, today I have a question. In most cases, you are told by your teachers that in consolidated papers, uh, comprehension questions are always easy score. But after getting your results, you end up, scoring below average in comprehension. So the question is, what are some of the reasons why most students get below average in this section? And that is what we are about to answer, dear students, as we tackle or as we look at how to tackle comprehension questions. So comprehension question is the first question in paper 2. So it tests on the learner's ability to comprehend or understand the passage and what it talks about, hence the name comprehension. So the passage here can be got from newspapers, journals, magazines, or even the textbooks. So as a student, you need to develop reading skills that will enable you answer the questions effectively. So in this session, we are going to look at various areas of study. So in the first place, we are going to look at titles in comprehension or titles in passages. And remember, most passages do not have titles. Then the second bit, we are going to look at the reading stages. That is the reading stages that we have before you answer the questions from the passage. Then again, we are also going to look at how to answer this question. And lastly, getting a meaning, the meaning of words, that is using the correct tense. And in that case, we'll be talking about the vocabularies, some of the vocabularies that are used in the passage. So, talking about titles, just like I said, not all passages have titles. So expect some passages having titles where some do not have. So we are told that for passages that have titles, the title should arouse the learner's thinking and attention to dig deep through the lines during the reading process to let them know how the title relates to the whole passage. So, for example, if maybe you are given a passage having a title, and the title of the passage is abortion and its effects, already this title should arouse your thinking and attention, that is as a reader, to dig deep through the lines or some of the information that you expect to get during the reading process. And again, how the title relates to the whole message. So if a passage is having a title of say abortion and effects, this already is a hint to the reader on some of the things or details to get from the passage. Maybe we can come across, fetuses being dumped by the roadside. Maybe death that also come as a result of unsuccessful abortions, and so on. So by that, already the reader's thinking and attention is aroused. So on to the next part, that is now the reading stages. The reading stages. This basically talks about the number of times you are supposed to go through a passage before settling down to now give the answers to the questions asked. So under reading stages, the first thing that you are supposed to remember is that passages should be read more than one time. If you read a passage uh, uh, once, then you attempt all the questions. You cannot convince me that you are going to score above 15 or maybe above 10 in that paper. That is in that section alone. So you cannot read a passage once, then proceed to answering questions. There is a reason why you are advised to read a passage like twice or thrice, and we are going to see about that right here. So it is advisable to do the following when reading a comprehension. So there is the first reading where you are advised to do your first reading freely without jotting or noting anything. You just read without taking note of anything. You do not put down anything on a paper. Then there is now the second reading that is done extensively and keenly. That is to mark the key points like vocabularies for easy reference. Now, it is in the second reading that you can now go ahead and maybe use a pencil to highlight some of the vocabularies or some of the key points that you think are vital for easy reference in future when you'll now be using the same key points to answer the questions that you are given. So it is now in the second reading that a learner or a student can now attempt jotting or noting some of these key points that they now come across in their second reading. So if you're okay with that, it is good. But if you ain't satisfied, you are also advised that you may forge. You may forge the third reading if at all there is some doubts you are bearing in mind. So when forging the third reading, you don't necessarily have to, read. You don't have to pay the attention that you had when reading for the first time. So for the when forging, you can use what we call skimming and scanning. That is, you just go through the lines very fast to look for some clarification, look for a key point that can, avoid the doubts that you are having or some of the doubts that you are bearing in mind. So the next stage that we have, or the next thing that you are supposed to do after the reading stages is now answering questions. So what are some of the things that a student is required to do before or when answering questions based on the passages? So before we look at that, I'd like to let you know that comprehension questions are divided broadly. They are divided broadly. So we have got factual questions, there are inference questions, we also have questions on summary and note making. There are questions on grammar and sentence structure. Of course, you cannot miss a question or two on grammar and the sentence structure. Then there will always be a question on the vocabulary. So how many divisions are those, or how many categories have I talked about? So that is factual questions 1, inference questions 2, questions on summary and note making, that is 3, then questions on grammar and sentence structure 4, then lastly questions on vocabulary, that is 5. So those are the 5 divisions of questions when it comes to passages. So the first, that is factual questions, are questions that are based on facts or ideas that we have in the passage. So these are questions based on facts or ideas from the passage, and they are recall type of question. That is, they require you to try to remember some of the ideas that you came across in your reading stages. So when answering this type of question, you're supposed to use words and phrases from the paragraph that contains the answer. So if the question is maybe touching on something that is in paragraph 2, then you are supposed to use those facts or ideas that we have in paragraph 2, that is the words and phrases that we have in that paragraph, to provide the answer to the question that you are given. So there is also this second division, that is inference questions. And these are questions that are not lifted directly from the passage. So here the student is supposed to infer from the details given. So these questions we are told include application questions, that is questions relating to what has been read in the passage to a different situation. Are you able to relate? So if maybe there are, we have got some moral lesson that is learned from the passage that you have, then the question is, are you able to relate what is there to a different situation? Maybe a true life a story, it doesn't matter. Then there is also the judgment question that we still get under this division, that is under inference question. So judgment questions requires the student to make judgment on the ideas that have been presented in the passage. Then there is also this division that talks about question on summary and note making. So in summary writing, a student should give information from the passage in the given number of words. So the answer should not be written in complete sentences. Sorry, they should be written. The answers should be written in complete sentences and continuous prose, that is in paragraph forms. So again, in summary writing, the rules of grammar must be observed. You must look at all the grammatical aspects. That is, be it the tenses, punctuations, spellings, etc., etc. So the students are required to give information from the passage in the number of words. So if you're told to use words not exceeding 50, then you can you can have 45 to 50 words. If you're told not to use below 30, then you know what to do, and so on. So stick to the number of words that you are supposed to use. So they also don't have to be exact. Like if you're told in about 50, you don't have to use exactly 50 words. You can use either 55, you can go up to 55, or come down to 45 in about, and so on. So in note making, the answer should be in point form. That is now the difference that we have in summary writing and note making. So summary writing is done in prose, in a continuous prose, that is in sentences. Whereas in note making, the answers are presented in point form. And there must be an indicator that these are notes. There must be an indicator that whatever you are making are notes. So indicator meaning that the student can use be it hyphens, bullets, asterisks, dots, numbers, letters of the alphabet, and so on. So the other division that we are also talking about here is now the questions on grammar. So in every passage, there will be a question or two in grammar. So the student is expected to answer these questions. And again, there is always the question on the sentence construction. For example, a student can be asked to rewrite a sentence, add a question tag, or rewrite a sentence in either direct or indirect speeches. So when answering questions on grammar, again, all grammatical rules must be observed. That is, any grammatical mistake is penalized. No mark again is awarded for answer with grammatical mistakes, just like it is done in grammar. So the last division that we have here is now the questions on vocabulary. So these questions test on the student's ability to give meaning of words and phrases as used in the passage. So when answering these questions, the student must therefore rely on the same context of the passage. Sorry, the student must rely on the same context of the passage. The meaning of words and expressions, again, must be given in the same tense as the word in question. And a note, the mark calculated for each question should guide you on how to write the answer for you to earn the full mark. For example, if you're told to, give a point and illustrate, and the mark that is indicated or calculated at the end is 2 marks. It means that you are supposed to give an example that is 1 mark and illustrate that is 2 marks. So don't give an example, then go after your teachers that sir, I have a mark here, but I'm awarded this. Yeah. So you are supposed to note that the mark calculated for each question should guide you on how to write the answer for you to earn the full mark. Dear students, it has been an interactive session. And again, thank you for watching till the end. Keep it easy, Limo, always. Until next time.